Hi, this is Jeff White at Versatile Fighting Arts, and it's January 5th. Happy New Year. So, I wanted to reach out, just touch base, say hello, invite you to Versatile Fighting Arts. We've opened last month in Covington, and oftentimes what comes up in conversations is what's the best martial arts style? And the answer, honestly, the most honest answer is the one that you practice, the one that you use. But aside from that, you're going to find different things if you start looking for a style that you want to train in. There's going to be different things that will appeal to you. And I would suggest you follow those. I usually find that people who have a strong wrestling background naturally gravitate towards Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It's a lot of grappling, it's a chess match, very intelligent chess match on the ground. It's an awesome sport, it's very good. For those that wanted something a little different, more artistic, Aikido is an incredibly beautiful and very nice art. I had looked into it when I first started for my training. I started out in Taekwondo and realized very quickly that it simply wasn't going to be the art for me. It took about 4 or 5 months. Very patient instructor. In fact, actually, he led me eventually the opportunity to start studying Jiu-Jitsu. But I just went to him and said, I appreciate everything he's doing. It's just it wasn't for me. And we kept in touch. He was a gentleman who I have a tremendous amount of respect for. He was very patient and very knowledgeable, very caring, and a true badass in his own right. He used to be the bouncer at a biker bar that I used to frequent in my youth. And I kept looking around for things that I wanted to. The idea of Aikido, as I mentioned just before, was very appealing. The whole idea of blending energy, and I was looking for ways, especially at that time in my life, to create more calm. I'd already been meditating for a good number of years. I wanted something to get rid of some of that extra energy that I was just always kind of dealing with. And martial arts gave me that outlet, in a way to channel that and be able to use that to a tremendously good aim. But as I looked at Aikido, that wasn't for me. I wanted something more self-defense. I take lessons from that. One of my black belts is an Aikido Jiu-Jitsu system. So, that I combined a lot of those principles into what I do with Versatile Fighting Arts. And when I started with Jiu-Jitsu, more of a Japanese Jiu-Jitsu stand up, it was exactly what I wanted. It was a perfect blend. And for me, it was also time. I was a realtor for 32 years, and evening times are one of our, that's prime time. And most classes were at 5 or 6 in the evenings. And I just wouldn't accommodate my schedule back then. So this one started at 8 o'clock and it went to 10 o'clock, and it was a perfect match. And I immersed myself into that. Then I ended up broadening out. I met some gentlemen through that teacher for Kuntao Silat with George Morin, Daniel Persecha. Through them, I also met my Aikido Jiu-Jitsu teacher with the Kamashan Aikido Jiu-Jitsu with Soke Don Phillips and Scott Phillips. And all those people had a tremendous impact into my development as a martial artist and the character of a person. Others that I will give credit to, of course, and there's going to be many, but the friends of James Denning, Bob Austin, up in Fort Collins and Greeley were tremendous mentors. Sometimes just in the way that I would watch them and watch how they performed, how they moved, and it was very instructive to me. I then moved to Raleigh and started training under Troy Price and Shurate, and that became my home art, my mother art. And Shurate is a very eclectic art. It covers pretty much anything and everything: throws, takedowns, joint locks, arm bars, striking, palms, elbows, knees, everything you would ever want. It's all in there, and I absolutely loved it. And it taught me a lot. And so what I tell even my students now, I said, go branch out. Nothing wrong with branching out. Go try other things. Go to other seminars. You can go to other schools. But you want to have one mother art. You want to have one art that you really delve into deeply. Instead of being scattered and feeling like you've got a smattering here and there, delve deeply into one art. That will teach you more about movement, concepts, and principles than most anything else. To that, you can add other things into your art. I often have had students who trained very much elsewhere, and they just came to me to help get a different perspective. Kind of help inform their current art. Maybe I moved a little bit differently. I use concepts in a slightly different manner. So that's what they would come to me for. So when you're looking for an art, if you want something more self-defense based, everybody gets into the arts for their own personal reasons, and those reasons do morph and change over time. But if you want something more self-defense based, then look at the teacher, look at the school, and see, does that align with what you're looking for? Okay. If it's not, keep looking, or enjoy what you're learning, but also keep looking. When you find your art that really speaks to you, you'll feel that in your heart. Stick with that. Just whatever it takes. Is always, everybody's going to have times of frustration. Things are going to feel you're overwhelmed. Life happens, and you want to kind of set that martial art aside. But if you'll continue to train in the art consistently, then it will provide benefits that extend far beyond your ability to protect yourself. It will develop character, develop peace. It will develop a calmness, a sense of relaxation of perceived limitations is probably the best way I can put that. It's you can always do more than you thought. It will teach you focus. It will teach you discipline. All those things have tremendous value regardless of your age. It all has tremendous value. A number of my students, since I primarily teach adults, are older, and they come to me and they go, once we started this, I'm always more calm. If somebody's in an altercation, there's a conflict, they're always thinking through, how can I find a resolution for this instead of just being frustrated. So I would encourage you to, if you're looking for a school, obviously come join us, but also look around. Try different schools. There's some excellent karate schools that are around. Some may prefer more of a taekwondo. Some prefer more Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Here on the North Shore, what we do, I absolutely love. We focus on self-defense. We focus on concepts and principles. We want to build that warrior from the inside out, and not a warrior in a sense that we walk around going, we're just going to beat everybody up. That's not warriorship. That's being a fighter and can be a bully depending upon the character. But what we look for is, how do you develop from the inside out? How do you develop your awareness of that internal energy? And then how can you express that? How can you harness that? How can I move to be more efficient and more effective? Those are things we look for. If you're on the South Shore, I'll give a shout out to Yonsei Martial Arts Academy over in Kenner. Michael Santillis does a tremendous job. He's got a great school over there, all ages. He does a really, really good job. In fact, I will be sharing every other month over there with some edge weapon work that I love doing. But check him out if you're on the South Shore. He's out by the airport. Absolutely wonderful. We've become friends. We've trained together through several of the Surete gatherings that have been around. So I just give a shout out. You can go check him out as well. If you're on the North Shore, come check us out and just see what you think. First class is always free. And we're all about how can we learn and how can we share. So come on down and check us out. Versatile Fighting Arts. We're at 600 North Highway 150. We share a space with the Collab, so it's a shared studio space. So you won't see necessarily our sign in front, but you'll see the Collab. Know that we're in there. Mondays and Thursdays from 7 to 9, and we'd love you to be a part. Have a great week.